This is the IUX Education Podcast, your shortcut to smarter trading and investing.
Where complex markets become simple. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig through the sources, find the gold, and serve it up so you're informed, maybe surprised, and hopefully entertained. Have you ever stopped to think about what really makes someone legendary? Especially, in those crazy high-stakes situations where everything can just vanish in a second?
Yeah, like what kind of person doesn't just survive that kind of pressure, but actually thrives on it?
Exactly. Well, today we're diving deep into someone who basically defined that, Paul Tudor Jones.
The man himself.
He did something most people thought was impossible. He basically called Black Monday in 1987. And didn't just call it, he profited massively. Walked away with what, over $100 million?
Over $100 million, yeah. While the rest of the market was absolutely imploding. It's legendary stuff.
But seriously.
But our mission today isn't just to tell that story again, amazing as it is. We want to dig into the mindset, the actual strategies, the lessons.
Yeah. What made him tick?
Exactly. And show you how those insights, his way of thinking, can actually apply way beyond just trading. Because honestly, these principles, they're pretty universal.
Okay, let's get into it then. Paul Tudor Jones, the guy who beat Black Monday, he wasn't, born with a silver spoon in some Wall Street family, was he?
Not at all. Born in Memphis, Tennessee, 1954. And here's the kicker, the really surprising part.
Yeah?
His first real passion, boxing.
Boxing, seriously, like gloves and a ring.
The whole 9 yards,
Mm-hmm.
which, doesn't exactly scream future billionaire trader, does it?
No, not really. That's wild.
But think about it, that boxing background, it wasn't just some random hobby. It drilled into him things that were absolutely crucial for trading later on.
Like what? Discipline.
Huge discipline, yeah. But also that mental toughness, being able to take a hit, stay calm under insane pressure, and make split-second decisions.
Okay, can see the parallels now. Thinking fast when everything's chaotic.
Precisely. It's knowing when to defend, when to attack, managing your fear. It's almost the perfect analogy for the market. It really shows how sometimes the skills you need come from the most unexpected places, right? It's not always a straight line.
That really makes sense. So he's got this boxing discipline. How does he actually break into finance after college? It wasn't exactly glamorous from what I gathered.
Oh, not at all. He started as a cotton futures clerk in New York.
Cotton futures?
Yep. Talk about starting at the bottom. Pure hard work, tons of hustle, and just watching, observing everything.
So no fancy algorithms or anything back then, just raw observation.
Exactly. And he wasn't just looking at price charts. He was studying market behavior. He paid super close attention to how people reacted under pressure.
The human element.
Totally. He was trying to understand the psychology of the crowd. He realized pretty quickly that fear and greed move markets just as much, maybe more, than the actual data.
So he was learning to read the players, not just the game board.
You got it. He saw how rumors could spread like wildfire, how panic sets in. Understanding those psychological currents, that became his edge. He wasn't just learning trading mechanics, he was learning trader psychology.
Okay, so that foundation, boxing discipline, ground-level market experience, focusing on human behavior, how did that lead to his, unique philosophy? What was his big edge?
Yeah, that's the core of it, isn't it? His absolute bedrock belief, his edge, was all about playing defense first.
Defense first. In trading. That sounds backward almost.
Yeah.
Isn't it all about making big gains?
That's what most people think. But for Jones, it wasn't about hitting it big every single time. It was about survival. Staying in the game long enough, protecting his capital so that when the really big opportunities came along, he was still there and had the capital to actually take advantage of them.
So preservation over aggression.
Exactly. He put it really clearly himself. He said, the most important rule of trading is to play great defense, not great offense.
Wow.
And that tied directly into his obsession with risk management, cutting losses fast.
Yeah.
Super fast.
Not letting a bad trade wipe you out.
Never. Protecting capital was everything. And crucially, never letting his ego get tangled up in a trade. If it went south, he was out. No hoping, no praying.
That's got to be incredibly hard to do emotionally, though.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he relied on rules, like setting stop losses beforehand, points where he'd just automatically exit, take the hit, preserve the capital. He knew fear and greed distort judgment. He famously said he traded people more than prices.
Trading people. That's a fascinating way to put it. It makes you think, how well do we manage our own emotions when things get tough? Do we protect our downside first?
It's a universal question, really.
And this defensive mindset, the psychological insight, it all leads up to the big one, right? The moment that made him a legend. Black Monday, October 19th, 1987.
Yep. For anyone who doesn't remember or wasn't around,
Right.
imagine pure, unadulterated financial panic. The Dow just fell off a cliff, down over 22% in one day.
22%. In a day. Unbelievable.
People were terrified, billions vanished, there was genuine fear, the whole system was collapsing. Just chaos.
But Jones, he saw it coming. How?
It wasn't just a gut feeling. He'd done his homework meticulously. He actually compared the market setup in 1987 to the lead-up to the 1929 crash.
Wow. What similarities did he see?
Things like runaway speculation, new tech program trading back then, making swings bigger and faster, plus rising interest rates. Classic warning signs that, many others were kind of ignoring or downplaying.
So he connected historical dots others weren't seeing.
Exactly. And based on that, he took this incredibly bold contrarian position. He shorted the market heavily through futures contracts.
So he was betting against the market, betting it would fall while everyone else was still hoping or panicking.
Precisely. Imagine the nerve that took, betting on a collapse.
I can't even fathom it. The pressure must have been immense.
Right. But his analysis gave him conviction. And when the dust settled after that catastrophic day,
It's made.
over $100 million, while Wall Street was basically a smoking crater, that trade cemented his legend instantly.
Just incredible. A masterstroke of timing and analysis.
But here's the thing, right? While Black Monday is the famous story, the real key to his long-term success wasn't just that one trade. It was the underlying mindset.
What do you mean? What was the deeper key?
Well, I think it was his humility, actually. He wasn't trying to be perfect. He knew he wouldn't be right 100% of the time. Nobody is.
So he wasn't caught up in needing to be the guru who's always right?
Not at all. He was focused on being adaptable. He even said, I don't predict, I adapt, which is such a powerful idea.
Adapting instead of predicting. I like that.
And tied to that is another one of his, let's say, blunt quotes, losers average losers.
Oof. What does that mean exactly?
It sounds harsh.
It is harsh, but it's brutally honest market wisdom. It means basically if a trade or, hey, any decision in life is clearly going wrong, don't double down on it. Don't throw good money after bad just because you hope it'll turn around or because your ego is invested.
Seen your losses. Get out. Get out. Admit you were wrong and move on. It fights against that sunk cost fallacy,
Yeah.
That feeling of, I've already put so much in, I have to stick with it. Jones knew that's how you get wiped out.
So it comes back to that discipline, the ability to not stay wrong.
Hit the nail on the head. He was ruthless about it, admitting mistakes quickly, without emotion, without ego, and just moving to the next thing. Think about it like driving. You take a wrong turn, you don't just keep going hoping the road bends back. Right?
No, you turn around as soon as possible.
Exactly. He did that, but with millions, sometimes billions, on the line. That ability to pivot, to not stay wrong, that's arguably why he succeeded for decades.
Yeah.
Through all sorts of market ups and downs.
It's a powerful lesson in emotional detachment from decisions.
Absolutely. And what's also really interesting about Jones is that his impact goes way beyond just making money. He's a major philanthropist.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. He founded the Robin Hood Foundation.
Yeah.
It's become one of New York's biggest and, importantly, most effective anti-poverty groups.
Effective.
Well, true to form, they are super data-driven. They apply the same kind of rigorous analysis he used in trading to figure out which poverty-fighting programs actually work, which ones deliver measurable results.
Yeah.
It's not just throwing money around, it's strategic giving.
Wow, so he applied his analytical brain to philanthropy, too. That's impressive.
It really is. It shows a broader sense of purpose, right? His legacy isn't just the billions, it's also about using that success to make a tangible difference.
Absolutely. So when you zoom out, his story isn't just for traders. It offers these deeper lessons about thinking clearly, managing risk in anything you do, and even, living with purpose.
Definitely. It's about how you approach challenges, whatever field you're in.
So maybe the final takeaway here is this. Paul Tudor Jones didn't get super wealthy by being reckless or trying to win every single time.
Nope. He mastered survival first. He was adaptable. He played incredible defense. He knew you had to protect what you have before you can really grow it.
Right. So for all of us, whether we're talking about investments or just navigating life's curveballs, maybe perfection isn't the point.
Definitely not. It's about being disciplined, being thoughtful, learning constantly, and being ready to act decisively, especially when it's time to cut your losses or change direction. Don't stay wrong.
Be adaptable, play defense when needed. Great stuff.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the journey of Paul Tudor Jones.
Stay curious, everyone, and stay disciplined.
And hey, if you want to follow or know more information, you can always follow us at IUX Education. We've got learning materials, articles, and more deep dives like this for all traders out there.
And this is the IUX Education Podcast, where trading confidence begins.
That's a wrap for today. This episode was brought to you by IUX Trading Platform, your trusted partner for smarter investing.